Hi, I'm Lynette LaBelle, a freelance editor and Pitch Wars mentor. I'm teaming up this year with Destiny Cole, and we want all the YA. Seriously, though, if you really want to see what we want, check out our wish list or tweet us on Twitter. Today, I want to talk about the process of what happens behind closed doors after you've submitted your entry. Yes, for you, there's a lot of waiting, but for us, it's busy, busy, busy. So basically what happens is the 4 to 6 mentors you've submitted to will receive your entry in their inbox. At that point, Destiny and I are going to sort through ours, and we will put them in folders that we'll put them in the yes, the maybe, or the no folder. Now, what would make us put a submission in the no folder at this point? All we have is a query letter and the first chapter. So it's not a lot to go on, right? Still, there are times where you can identify immediately if something isn't going to work for you. For example, if we receive a submission that isn't in our category, so that would mean it would fall under the middle grade, adult, or new adult categories. We can't take those, even if we want to. I will edit them during my day job, but I can't take them for this contest. Another thing that we would look at is if the mechanics are all over the place. So if you haven't taken the time to address the punctuation, spelling, and grammar in your query letter and first chapter, then I'm a little bit nervous about what the rest will look like. That's not to say that your pages have to be perfect or error-free. I mean, we all are humans, right? But we need to see that you've made an effort. At that point, there might be something in a premise or a character or something that we don't tend to read. So we might either put that in the maybe folder or right into the no folder. Most of the time, though, I think we would put them in the maybe folder and just let it sit for a bit. So what would put a submission, or why would we put a submission into the yes folder? Well, this is how I would define it, I guess. It's a feeling, of course. So no matter how tired I am, no matter what mood I'm in, no matter what is going on around me, if I'm reading this submission and it's like drawing me in, I just can't get enough of it and I need to read the rest of the story, it's going in the yes pile right now. But don't worry, if yours doesn't affect me that way, that's not an instant no either. In fact, I might still pick you. We might still pick you. It just means that those particular entries caught our attention right now. The rest will be in the maybe folder. And we will go through them, sort through them, and decide at that point which ones we want to request fulls from and which ones we're going to move over to the no pile. So we've gone through all our queries and sample chapters and sorted them into, at this point, it would be the yes and no pile. So now we're looking at our yes pile and it's pretty big. So we have to narrow this down some more, and that might mean discussing which ones we are really interested in or requesting. Destiny and I are going to request the full right away. I don't believe in requesting a partial and liking it and wanting to read more and now having to wait for you to send me the full. I want to have the full right now. But that does not mean that we are going to read all of the fulls that we request from beginning to end. Last year I requested 20 fulls. I don't have enough time to read 20 books in the short period of time that we have here. And that's not to say we're going to request 20 this time. We might request more or less. There's 2 of us, so I'm hoping we can request more, but we'll see. Anyway, when we request the full, we will also be requesting a synopsis. And I don't want you to panic about this. We are not going to be judging the synopsis. We just want to see, as we're reading through your full, I'm not sure about this section. I'm not sure about this. I don't know where the author is going with this. So I will grab the synopsis and look. Okay, so here's the beginning, middle, and end of the story. the character arcs are clear, and the plot points are there as well. Now I know where you're going with the story. Do I still want to read more, or is this where I shut it down? The other thing we will request during that period is we will send you a questionnaire that we want you to answer. So that means we want the synopsis, and the answers to the questionnaire within 24 hours. That's your first deadline. Got to make sure you meet it, right? The reason why I want you to send this to us basically immediately is because, one, we're still going to be feeling that excitement from your entry. So it increases your odds of getting selected. But that's not the only reason. I want to make sure that you can meet deadlines, because in this contest, we are going to have a lot of them, and you need to meet them. Missing deadlines is not acceptable in this contest, and it is reason for the mentor to actually drop you. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm saying, seriously, guys, you have to take the deadlines seriously. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm organized, so I'm going to be setting up everything according to deadlines. And if you miss them, it's going to throw everything off. So please don't do that to me, to us. Okay, so what else do I need to tell you about? Now, if I don't request a full from you, if we don't request a full from you, that doesn't mean we won't be picking you, but your chances aren't as good, because I really do feel that I need to read at least a good chunk of the manuscript to know if this is something I want to work with. However, that being said, sometimes what happens is we have all these fulls to go through, and we go through them, and we get to the end and we still don't feel like we've met our teammate yet. So that's when we might go back and request a full late in the game, or we might request a partial, or we might not have time and we might have to just hope. Basically, there is no right way to do this. We just kind of wing it and go with our feelings and try to find what is the best fit for us. It's going to be a little different for me this year because I'm working with a co-mentor whom I love, by the way. Hi, Destiny. But it means that we're both going to have to agree on a submission. And because we haven't worked together before, who knows if we're going to agree 100% on which one we would like to choose. If we do request a full from you, we will give you a little bit of feedback and let you know where we stopped, or what we felt wasn't working, or what we felt was working. This is not going to be an evaluation report by any means. It'll be 1 to 3 sentences, probably tops, because we are here to find a mentee. And once we do, we're going to start making notes and reviewing their manuscript and start planning ahead. We don't have a lot of time to give feedback to everybody, but we do appreciate that you sent us your full, and we do want to try to help as much as we can. So that's why I'm telling you that we will give a little bit of feedback, but I want to make sure that your expectations are in check, that it won't be anything major. It'll just be a few sentences, hopefully enough to help you out. And what else? Now, the other thing that can happen during this time frame is we might fall in love with a submission, and another mentor might fall in love with that same submission. This is where the battles come into play. So mostly it'll happen behind the scenes. The two mentors or the two mentor teams will discuss why they really want this particular submission and who would be a better fit. But if they still can't decide who should keep this one, then it goes back to the mentee. So at that time, I think most likely it'll be Brenda who will approach you, and you get to choose which mentor out of these two that are fighting over you, which one you would like to work with. And then whoever doesn't win the battle has to go back through their slush piles and find some other wonderful submission to work with. I think that's pretty much all for now, so I will let you go, and we will chat again. By the way, I'm probably going to do some more videos when I get my Samoyed puppy. If you haven't heard, we're getting one in like 24 days now. So I'm going to start doing a little diary of a Samoyed owner, something like that. So if you want to see my puppy in real time, just keep watching for these videos. Catch you later. Bye.